I am Thomas, and welcome to another edition here. Today, we're paying our respects in the Greenwood Cemetery in the Bronx, New York, visiting a famous person that you probably may have never heard of. Now, if I ask you, who is baseball's first superstar? Maybe you think to yourself, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. How about if I tell you James Creighton is considered baseball's first superstar? Let me tell you about James. He was born in 1841, long before Babe Ruth, in Manhattan, to James and Jane Creighton, and he was raised in Brooklyn. By the age of 16, he had become recognized in Brooklyn, in that area, for his batting skills in both baseball and cricket. In 1857, along with other neighborhood youths, when kids actually played outside, he formed a local baseball club named Young America. And during this time period, there were no other organized leagues and few competing teams. So amateur clubs spent most of their time practicing and playing inter-squad games. There we see a picture of Mr. Creighton. Young America played a few match games before disbanding. Creighton then became a member of Niagara of Brooklyn. He played second base. He was discovered, as far as baseball, he was considered discovered by a team called the Star Club. So it was 1859. The Niagaras were being heavily outscored by the Star Club of Brooklyn. They were just whooping that tail. And Creighton, who had thus far been used by the team primarily in the infield, he was brought on as a substitute pitcher. Team's getting rocked, team is losing. All right, how about you throw some pitchers, that way our regular pitchers have some rest, right? Using what others described as a low, swift delivery, Creighton achieved uncommon swift velocity. No one had ever seen a pitcher pitch the way Creighton was performing on the stages, on the mound. So, a quote here by a journalist, during that time frame, with the balls rising from the ground past the shoulder to the catcher, the star batsmen were unable to hit them effectively. Under the rules of baseball at that time, a pitcher was required to deliver the ball underhanded with the arm locked straight at the elbow and at the wrist. Now, another technique that he used was to give the baseball a spinning motion. Holy Whitakers, right? The batter's mind at that time was, I'm sure, exploding as he's seeing what was going on. A spinning motion which made it hard for the batters to hit it squarely. Couldn't hit the ball, flying, going straight through them. And in addition to that, he threw a high arching, slower pitch called a dewdrop. It was the job of the pitcher to make it easy for the batter to hit the ball, as fielding was considered the game's true school. The Stars batsman claimed that Creighton was using an illegal snap of the wrist to deliver the pitch. Now, the Star Club eventually won the game, but following the match, Creighton left the Niagaras and joined the Stars. Mr. Creighton was so damn good that it's like we don't want to face him, so let's get him on our team that we won't get embarrassed. So right before the 1860 season, listen, this guy right now would be giving will be striking out guys like Aaron Judge and Bregman and Olsen. These guys will be swinging and missing without a doubt. I mean, there's no question about it. It's just 1 up, 2 down, 3 down, swing and a miss. So, as the 1860 season began, Creighton left the Star Club and he joined one of the highest profile clubs in the game at the time, the Excelsior of Brooklyn. I know I pronounced that wrong. Stop, relax. Now, he was the new star pitcher. This ball club became a national sensation. They organized the first known baseball tour outside of their home region, taking on teams along the East Coast of the United States. That first season, Creighton scored 47 runs in 20 match games. 47 runs, 20 games, and was retired just 56 times and did not strike out, as we see the grave of Mr. Creighton. So basically, if you don't follow baseball, what that means is he would get on he was retired 56 times, meaning he did not reach base 56 times, and he never struck out. Like, holy tamale. He was a damn good player back in that day. Baseball's first shutout was on November 8th, which Creighton recorded. In addition to his pitching skills, he became the game's best batter. In 1862, he batted .000, meaning he got hits in all 65 of his at-bats. 65 for 65. This guy would probably, if you consider Ohtani the best pitcher in a best, because Ohtani was like pitcher and player, right? But not, he would probably be equivalent to today's version of Ohtani, just better, because he played the field, and I know, but we're getting into semantics, but this was a two-way player that was a superstar, and he was all just very young. He, again, the pitching was what set him apart on many things, right? So he had a young, promising career. But and the legacy, I think, that he left is perhaps seen in what is now considered the fundamental component of the game, the called ball and the walk. Neither existed during Creighton's lifetime, but his many imitators who pitched with his velocity but not his control prompted batters to stand at the plate without swinging for lengthy intervals, waiting for a pitch within reach. Now, Creighton died very young, very young. Now, there's some, kind of back and forth. But what happened to him was he died after playing a game. So in 1862, Jim was playing second base against the Union of Morrisania Club. Creighton had allegedly hit 4 doubles and 4 at-bats during the first 5 innings, just being a superstar. He then took over pitching duties in the 6th inning. And then in his next at-bat, he hit a home run. Now, apparently, while swinging the bat, he suffered an injury in his abdominal area. According to a writer, when Creighton crossed home plate, he commented to the next batter that he heard something snap. So after the game, he began to experience severe pain and hemorrhaging in his abdomen. He died at his father's home October 18th at the age of 21. 21. So later research after Creighton died, it suggested that Creighton's hernia was chronic and that the tremendous workload from baseball and cricket contributed to worsening the hernia. In that era, balls and strikes were not called, and batters who couldn't hit Creighton's rapid deliveries adapted by refusing to swing at good pitches, forcing Creighton to throw well over 300 pitches per match, pitching with great force and that exaggerated body, the way the body would be, moving with that speed and velocity. It kind of worsened his condition. 300 pitches per match. Now, pitchers nowadays have 70. Sometimes they have a 70 pitches per game, 70 pitch count limit. If you pitch 100 games, it's considered like way out there. My gosh, 300 pitches. One of baseball's superstars. Much respect to James Creighton.